Today on Snail Trail 4x4, we're going to do some body modifications. Maybe get rid of my tummy. So step one is to make the template. I put this piece of paper on here so I can create the outline and create the template and fold it over. As you can see, I mounted it here and here, and I'm going to fold it around and down. This is going to be really easy to transfer to the other side so that I can just flip the template over, mark the same lines, and then make the same cuts. So it'll look identical on each side. It's a little dirty. Things aren't sticking very well. Gonna use more tape. Now that we have the paper set up, I'm just going to do a simple little trace to get an idea of where I'm going to be cutting. I'll cut this out, make sure that it looks perfect, and then I'll make the line of where I'm going to cut to do this fender trim. I'm going to match this line here because that door line is going to be the same on each side. So then I can copy this line to transfer it over to the other side. Now I'm going to cut that out. I marked the outside line here, I marked the inside line here. This pattern should be identical to the other side, so it'll be in an easy transfer. Now I'm going to mark the area that I'm going to trim off, and then that should be able to carry over to the other side. Now I'm going to yank it off, cut it up, and we're going to see how it looks. Now that we have the template cut out, I'm going to place it on there. I'm going to just look at this line again to see if it's what I want. I'm going to cut this line out, but I'm not going to leave a little extra space there so I can move the line around a little bit if needed, just to, you can always cut more away, but you can never really add more back. So let's just check it out. I use this marker, this corner line right here on the body line, as the main spot, and then ran it straight across, so that's how I know where this corner goes. And it goes over to right to the edge here. Looks good along this line down on here. This line looks great down to where this dip is. It's a little, I'm pretty far off down here, but that's okay because it marks it fairly well. Plus I'm only really removing this side. Let's push it back and see if it will stay. No, too dirty back there, it won't stay. But I can look at this anyway. I think that line looks pretty good. So I'm gonna cut like ½ inch in from that line, take off a good chunk and take a look at it and see if it's where I want. Kept ripping this corner, so I'm just going to add more tape. See, I already drew a line here where I had an idea of where I wanted to do that, so I'm pretty much matching that line to make it look right. That looks good. That's the line I'm going to do. I'll mark that again. Sure. There's 2 bolts right down here, and so pretty much I'm going to take that line at the end and I'm going to cut it straight back. so it matches up. It's going to be a hard line, but I don't think that's going to be a problem. It's going to be actually farther back than my fender will be, so that'll be good. I'll probably have to hammer down some of this stuff on the inside as well. Yeah, I like it. So next step, I'm going to take the fender off so that I can have it away from the body when I'm doing the cutting. There's 2 bolts under here. There's a plethora of them across the way. I've got 2 in the front on the lower end, and then there's 1 inside behind the door. So you have to open the door up to get to that one at the top. I'll show you where. Can't reach this farther back one with the Makita. I'm just going to get a gear wrench to do it, but I'm going to do the 2 underneath first. I seem to be missing one. Normal socket wrench is easier. Right tool for the right job. Now I just have these 2 screws to undo and it should pop out. Now we're going to take it outside and cut it up. Proper equipment while grinding is very important. Get your earplugs, some glasses, gloves, and any other protection. You don't want to be exposed pretty much anywhere. I'm also going to wear a face mask to protect any breathing, and I don't want any of this into my lungs. I'm starting to do that more often now because I've been watching Alec Steele on YouTube, and he does a ton of grinding, and he wears this respirator that protects him completely. And he opened it up one time and I saw all this dust and dirt that was collected into that respirator, and it just bothered me. So I'm going to start wearing the respirator from now on whenever I'm doing any grinding along these lines. And check him out, he's so cool. He does all kinds of metal work, blacksmithing. He's building knives and daggers and axes, and it's such a rad channel, so check him out. So I'm going to put on my protection and we're going to grind this off. Nice. That looks great. Yeah, I can really tell that's gonna open that up. Well, I mean, because I have leaf springs and shackles, my tire goes back whenever I compress, and I was smacking into my fender. That was pushing the fender back into the door. I was having all kinds of problems. You can really see how much this opens it up. It's completely different. I'm probably gonna have to come in here and hammer this back with a hammer, and I mean, there's a few hard lines in here, but that's not gonna be a big deal. Maybe a big old sledge. But yeah, you can really see, I mean, I cut right about there. I only cut like an inch or so off, maybe an inch and a half when it was at full, you know, normal placement, because I mean, it's been banged up a few times by the tire getting up in there. But this is gonna make a world of difference. So I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. I bolt it back up and I'm done. It's just that easy. Thanks for watching Snail Trail 4x4. I think this fender trim turned out phenomenal. Comment below if you have any other methods that you've used in the past for how to get one side to match the other side. Hammer down on that subscribe button, and don't forget, keep crawling.
Snail Trail 4x4.